Yeah, I want to play you something from the radio show, going back a little ways. Here we go.
George and Gail, after living together for 3 years in Victoria, decided one morning, after a walk, to get married. Gail's children and grandkids were coming. George called Dina and then Laura. Both were stunned a moment. They hadn't talked to their father for a long time. "I'd like you both to come," George said. "It would mean a lot to me." Silence, then. "We'll see," Dina said. "I'll talk to Greg and let the kids know." "I don't know, Pop," Laura said. "It'd be pretty expensive, and Tom's business is bottomed out right now." "You could stay with us," Gail said on the other phone. "We'd love to have you. And if you want to stay at a motel, we'll even pick up the cost." Well, 10 days after Gail's 69th birthday, she married for the second time to George Robert Roddick. It was a small ceremony. Gail's sons and daughter came, as did her 3 grandchildren. Dina and Greg came. Laura and Tom came. George's 5 grandkids came. Things were a little stiff. George was doing his best not to cry, and Gail was beaming like she was 21 again. At the reception back at their house, after they'd all had a few things to eat and a few things to drink, Gail got up and asked for quiet and made a speech. "George and I both lost our partners from previous marriages," she said. "We were both faithful to Rose and to Jerry, and we deeply grieved their loss. A lot of widows and widowers die soon after they lose their partners. And George and I might have had that happen too if we hadn't found each other. We helped each other to grieve. We were friends. And then we learned to love each other. And today, we ask for our children's blessings." Well, that did it. George started trembling. His forehead crinkled, and he began sobbing out loud. He stood there, head up, tears streaming from his eyes. First Dina, then Laura stepped forward and held their father. Gently at first, and then as tightly as they ever had in their lives. After a few minutes of unstoppable weeping all round, Gail said, "Look, this is a wedding day. Let's do some dancing at least." The stereo was turned up louder. First, George and Gail waltzed. Then George danced with Dina. Then Laura. Then with Gail's daughter. Then with Gail again. This was more like it. This was like it used to be long ago at the Temple Gardens Dance Palace, when George was the best dancer in the house, and the women all loved taking a turn on the floor with him. Like it used to be, only different. Very different, actually. Dina and Laura had each told him that they were happy for him. They had blessed his wedding and his marriage to Gail. And that was a special gift. One that George had wished for a long time.
Well, I say hello. Oh, Lord, can you love? I say love, oh love, what can it love? Love, please tell me, what have I done for you?
Yeah. That's from the radio show, folks, going back a couple years.